Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Pearl, part 41. In the last part I explained my Elite Four prep, and then the part before that we took on Owl and defeated Owl luckily. But yeah, so this part we're going to be doing the Elite Four. I don't really have to explain anything much, so let's just get straight into it. 4 trainers obviously, it's called the Elite Four, and the first one is going to be this guy, and I do have the information about the Pokemon up with me, so yeah, that's pretty damn handy. So yeah, his speciality, every Elite Four has a speciality, is Bug. So Bug types are weak to Fire and Rock, which is kind of useful. So I started off with Fish Demon, who I think I mentioned this in the last part, I can't remember, I recorded that part so long ago I can't really recall, but yeah, I taught Fish Demon Stone Edge, which I found in Victory Road, which I did mention where it was before, so you should be okay. Pretty much, yeah, Stone Edge is a really good attack, and it does do a lot of damage to Bug Pokemon, so pretty damn handy. Because also, it does 4 times damage, it does 4 times damage to 2 of his Pokemon Rock type moves, so that's another reason to have Stone Edge rather than say Fire, although I think Fire you'll still be pretty much okay. One thing you're going to want to know about the Elite Four is that they all do have 4 restores. I couldn't say how many, but I know they each at least have 1. Some probably have a couple, I couldn't really say, so I attacked Dustox and it just healed itself, but that does mean he won't be able to use his full restore later on, which is going to really help us out, because yeah, you'd rather him heal his weaker one than his stronger ones. That just makes sense. I think I've mentioned that on most of the gyms now, so yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's the first one done. I didn't want to use Fish Demon too much, because even though Stone Edge is a really good attack, I wanted to save it, because you only get 10 of them. I didn't want to just burn through them and then not have any, that would suck. So I switched into Plug Switch for Vespiquen, which I'm guessing is the evolved form of Combee, although Combee is a worker, which would make it a male, so when it evolved it became a queen bee, so it changed gender when it evolved? Whatever, is that allowed? Is that cool? I don't really know, so yeah, this Pokemon is Bug/Flying type, so that's obviously straight away very useful, because it means that Plug Switch is super effective against it. So obviously I set up Plug Switch and use my electric attacks to take it down. I didn't use Thunder because I need Thunder. Plug Switch actually has 3 electric attacks: Thunder, Thunderbolt, and Thunder Fang, as you would have seen in the last part. So yeah, I do want to save the Thunders, but it does mean I do have like 30 other good electric attacks, which we're always going to need. I probably would have got through them quicker if it wasn't for that damn light screen, so it might be a good idea to try and take them out as quickly as possible, although that's kind of an obvious thing to say and I feel dumb for saying it, but yeah, that is something you do want to do. So Heracross, as we fought it against Owl, and it is Bug/Fighting type, so instead of going for a Rock type Pokemon to attack the Bug, I went for a Flying type Pokemon to attack the Fighting. It just makes sense. I think you can just go through this all and not actually look up what you're going up against, but I would definitely recommend it's not really cheating, just going online and just seeing what you're going to be up against, you know, it kind of saves you going, like, attacking these Pokemon over and over and losing a lot of times, you know, and not really knowing what you're doing, because it can be hard to tell, you know, it can be really hard to tell what type some Pokemon are. Like, I had no idea this was Fighting type until it started using, I mean, it knows Aerial Ace, why would I think it's Fighting type? It kind of doesn't make too much sense, so yeah, don't be afraid to just go online quickly and just see. I mean, for the sake of, I remember my Pokemon White, when I did the Elite Four the second time, this is a little behind the scenes thing, I did actually, on the right hand side of the screen, have all their stats up. Like what types of Pokemon they were, just because I didn't want to do it over and over again, and it just made more sense, you know, to actually have it up here. So, and I'm not really a guy that likes to use guides that much. I mean, I don't have anything against them, but in a Pokemon game when there's like, oh, there's so many different Pokemon they could have, it's just, you know, you're not a supercomputer. Well, I know some people are when it comes to Pokemon and types, but you know, whatever. So here's Drapion. this is his most powerful Pokemon, which actually isn't a bug Pokemon, which is kind of weird. It's actually poison / dark, so any of your anti-bug moves won't work against this thing quite as well. So I didn't really have anything to go against this. I used Stone Edge because I thought it would be good because it's a good move, but as you can see it didn't do that much damage, or definitely not as much as I would have liked, so that kind of sucks. But then this Pokemon doesn't seem to be doing any real damage to me because Fish Demon is water flying type, and so Aerial Ace really doesn't do that much. So I decided to mix it up and use Ice Fang. But one good thing is that I knew he wouldn't be able to heal because he used his Force, so if I just slowly wore him down, I would be able to beat him in a wearing down contest. I think that's what they are called officially, a wearing down contest. But of course, because it's a big bad boss person, his last Pokemon, or most powerful, will have a berry, so just be aware of that. That's something I always forget. I was like, what is he doing? This is witchcraft. He's blatantly cheating, but he's not. He's just using a berry. So yeah, this is. Do you want to know this Pokemon's moves, or yeah, whatever? They're Aerial Ace, Cross Poison, Ice Fang, and X-Scissor. So you can kind of plan accordingly to that. But of course, I said that I managed to get rid of one of his full restores, but of course he had another one. So I'm guessing they all have 2. Although the final battle in this, they might have 3. Although I really don't know. I can't really find a list of it, and I can't really be bothered to find a list of it. So just assume they have 2. Yeah, you have seen on display now all of Fish Demon's moves: Ice Fang, Stone Edge, Aqua Tail, and Fire Blast. I was just trying to do any sort of damage I could. I wasn't too worried about Fish Demon going down, though. I wasn't too worried about that because of all the revives I have, and this is his second to last Pokemon, I think. I think he still has one more after this, so I wasn't too worried, so I thought I'll just keep at it, because it can't really do that much damage to the Fish Demon. It doesn't have any moves that are good against it. So as long as I can hold out, I can kill it, and that's what I did. I got kind of lucky. He could have easily got a critical hit at any point and taken me down, but as it turned out, he didn't. So he's now sending out what I believe is his last Pokemon, a Beautifly, which is Bug / Flying. So I will actually be using Plug Switch because I don't really want to risk having Fish Demon out. I know I just said I don't care if he dies, but yeah, I don't want to risk him having him out. So, and Plug Switch is like full health, you know, whatever. Oh god, I remember this now. This is awful. If this is the part I'm thinking of, where Thunder doesn't have great accuracy, it's not awful, it's just not good. It's kind of risky using it. Oh my god, this was so stressful. If this was live commentary, I would be screaming and effing and blinding, and it would be terrible, and your ears would feel like a toilet. But luckily this is post, and look at that. I sent out Plug Switch with full health, and I used Thunder 3 times, and it misses every single time. It was really annoying as well, because I needed Thunder. Thunder's like its best electric attack. I was probably going to need it for the later battles. But no, it had to miss 3 times, so it took me 4 attempts, but I finally did it. I finally took it down. And Plug Switch looks like 130 health, which is great. That's exactly what I want. But yeah, with that, that's the first Elite Four member done already. Wasn't that simple, kids? Wasn't that easy? Not too bad. The first one usually is pretty easy. You can usually burn through the first one. I remember the first and second, you can burn through the first one. If you can't burn through the first one, that's a sign that you're not high enough level, or you're not quite ready for the Elite Four. So yeah, I don't know why I just stopped there, but okay, let's keep going. So yeah, this is the second member of the Elite Four, Bertha, and her speciality is ground type. So you should probably know how to take out ground types already. I don't think I really need to explain in that much, that much detail about ground types. It's grass. You need grass and water. Although I would recommend grass a lot more to water, because some of our Pokemon like Quagsire are also part water type, so a water against water ground just does normal damage, I think. So that's something to consider. But if you use grass, that's 4 times damage, so that's pretty handy. Unfortunately, I sent out Frosty Bush, and just so you know, I have healed and all that. I just did it off screen. All the healing I'm going to be doing for the Elite Four, I'll just do it. I've cut all that out so you don't have to see it. There's nothing really to explain. Use potions, dumbass. That's if you're low on health, use a potion. Simple. So yeah, went Frosty Bush first because I knew Quagsire was quite strong. I probably should have saved Frosty Bush and the Wood Hammer attack for a later Pokemon, because if you KO in one, you do take a big chunk of damage. So I just took like 60 damage there, roughly. But you know, I'm glad that Frosty Bush is out there, you know, getting involved, kicking some ass. And yeah, another reason I also sent out Frosty Bush is for the ice thing, which you may think is a bit stupid, but trust me, it's a lot more useful them taking that damage than it is you not taking that damage, if that makes sense. Because I have so many potions and stuff like that, I don't really care, it doesn't really matter that much to me, but for the Elite Four, if I can wear them down with ice, it's handy. So our next Pokemon is Sudowoodo, which is just rock, so obviously I sent out Hot Fuzz and use Surf because water is super effective against rock, so I didn't have too much trouble there. Sudowoodo down in 1. See, ground types, everyone always has an easy time with ground types. You should have something good against them, because I had both Frosty Bush and Hot Fuzz, which was really going to come in handy here. They really do just burn through this one. I remember the same thing happening in the first gen. What's his name? The big dude. You know, the big dude who had all the rock Pokemon, rock and ground. He was super easy. So because I burnt through our first 2 Pokemon so quickly, I think she got a bit pissed off and sent out our most powerful one, which I had some troubles with, I won't lie. Hippowdon. I'm sure we fought one in the Elite Four, didn't we? No, the Victory Road, didn't we? Huh. But I swear that's a different colour. I don't know. Maybe it's a shiny. I don't know. Probably going to sound like an idiot, but yeah. So yeah, I sent out Hot Fuzz. I probably should have sent out Frosty Bush and just used Wood Hammer straight off, because Hot Fuzz is actually weak against ground type moves because of the steel thing. I think that's true anyway. An Earthquake will just mess me up, but luckily for me I managed to hit it with a couple of Surfs and took it down before it could do any real damage. That could have easily gone the other way, so I got quite lucky there. But now the Sandstorm rages, which isn't good. I can't remember what Sandstorm does. It doesn't do any damage. I know there's a version that does do damage, but that's not it. So even though I recommend using grass types, what I actually ended up doing was using Hot Fuzz for most of this battle. Water types is you're going to need water types. You should have one anyway because of Surf and Waterfall, so just use Surf and Waterfall moves with whatever Pokemon you decided you were going to have in your squad. That's what I did. So yeah, we're burning for a Pokemon. We're not having much trouble here at all, which is nice. Yeah, this is already her last Pokemon, which is actually Water Ground type as well, in case you're wondering. Which is why I've made the switch to Frosty Bush, because I know Wood Hammer does take a lot of damage out, or do a lot of recoil, but you know, I can just heal Frosty Bush after the battle, so I'm not worried about it. If I can use Wood Hammer now and take it out in 1, then it doesn't matter, does it really? You know, I can just heal straight after. So before Frosty Bush attacked, Whiscash managed to get one more Zen Headbutt in, which did next to no damage, and I hit it with a Wood Hammer, and I think that's going to be it. That's going to be the end of the battle, so... Is it? Come on, come on. There, end of the battle. So yeah, that's the first 2 Elite Four members down. Not too much trouble, really. Pretty simple so far, but it does get tougher, so I hope you join me in the next part where I will be taking on the final 2 Elite Four members. If you like this video, don't forget to like it or subscribe, and I've been Honestorm23, and I will see you next time. Okay, goodbye.